Now this video is about the National Education Policy 2020. Let us begin with a brief introduction. The National Education Policy 2020 was approved by the Union Cabinet of India on 29 July 2020. It outlines the vision of India's new education system. It provides a comprehensive framework for education right from the elementary level to the higher level and for vocational training for both rural and urban India. Let us have a look at the background of this policy. The National Education Policy 2020 was drafted by a committee formed by the Ministry of Human Resource Development and chaired by Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan. The draft new education policy, the draft was prepared in 2019, and it was released by the Ministry of Human Resource Development and was followed by a rigorous consultation process. Over 2 lakh suggestions from 2.5 lakh gram panchayats, 6,600 blocks, 6,000 urban local bodies, 676 districts were received. So let us have a look at the vision. National Education Policy 2020 envisions an India-centric education system that contributes directly to transforming our nation sustainably into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high-quality education to all. So let us have a look at the salient features of this policy. The first feature is early childhood care and education. So the National Education Policy recommended that early childhood care and education be developed in a two-part curriculum consisting of guidelines for parents and teachers of students up to 3 years of age, and educational framework for students between the ages of 3 to 8 years. The NEP talks about the implementation of these recommendations by expanding and improving the quality of the Anganwadi system and co-locating them with primary schools. So the first focus is on early childhood care and education, that is for the children up to 8 years of age. So the next focus is on Right to Education Act 2009. The policy recommended extending the range of the Right to Education Act 2009 to include the following education levels: early childhood and secondary level. This will allow coverage of RTE to all children between the ages of 3 to 18 years. So the scope of RTE has been extended. Recommends the extending of the scope of RTE to cover the children up to 18 years of age. The curriculum framework, the NEP recommends the 5334 pattern explained in the table below. So this is the new pattern suggested or recommended by NEP. The first 5 years is the foundational stage, and the curriculum involves 3 years of pre-primary followed by class 1 and 2, and mainly the focus is on activity based learning. The third stage is the preparatory stage and includes 3 years from classes 3 to 5. And the focus is mainly on introduction to subjects like speaking, reading, writing, physical education, languages, art, science and mathematics. The third stage is the middle stage, which consists of 3 years from classes 6 to 8, and in this stage more abstract concepts in subjects of mathematics, sciences, social sciences, arts and humanities shall be introduced. And the fourth stage is secondary stage, which consists of 4 years. It is again divided into two phases. Classes 9 to 10 is the first phase and 11 to 12 is the second phase. And it is intended to inculcate multidisciplinary study coupled with in-depth and critical thinking, and multiple options of subjects will be provided in this stage. So next focus is on school exam reforms. The state census exams shall be conducted in classes 3, 5 and 8, and restructuring of the 10th and 12th board exam shall be done. So standards for the exams to be established by an assessment body called as PARAK, that is Performance Assessment, Review and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development. And this would the exams would mainly focus and test the core competencies of the students, and the students will be allowed to take the exam twice. The exam will have two parts, the objective and the descriptive. Some other features include number one, emphasis on foundational literacy and numeracy. So no rigid separation between academic streams, extracurricular, vocational streams in schools, allowing students to be more interdisciplinary and multilingual. For example, if a student wants to pursue fashion studies with physics, or if one wants to learn bakery with chemistry, they will be allowed to do so. The next important development is vocational education, which is to start from class 6 with internships and teaching up to at least grade 5 to be in mother tongue or regional language. However, it also says that no language will be imposed on any student. Coding will be introduced from class 6 and experiential learning will be adopted. The midday meal scheme shall be extended to include breakfasts. Focus will also be given to students' health, particularly mental health, through the deployment of counselors and social workers. Assessment reforms with 360-degree holistic progress card, tracking record progress, student progress for achieving learning outcomes. Then a new and comprehensive national curriculum framework for teacher education 2021 will be formulated by the National Council for Teacher Education in consultation with National Council of Education Research and Training. So it is hoped that by 2030 the minimum degree qualification for teaching will be a 4-year integrated B.Ed degree. So now let us have a look at the changes in higher education. So the policy proposes a 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor's degree in an undergraduate program with multiple exit options. These will include professional and vocational areas and will be implemented as follows: a certificate after completing 1 year of study, a diploma after completing 2 years of study, a bachelor's degree after completion of a 3-year program, a 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor's degree, the preferred option. So, as all of you know now, right now we have 3-year degree program like BSW, BA. So this will completely change to become a 4-year program, but at the same time there will be an option of multiple exit options after 1 year, 2 year, 3 year and 4 years. So MPhil or Masters of Philosophy courses are to be discontinued. Then Higher Education Commission of India will be set up as a single umbrella body for the entire higher education, excluding medical and legal education. The council's goal will be to increase gross enrollment ratio. Also, Higher Education Commission of India will be having 4 independent verticals, namely number 1, the National Higher Education Regulatory Council for regulation, General Education Council for standard setting. The National Council for Teacher Education will come under the GEC as a professional standard setting body. Higher Education Grants Council, or HEGC in short, is for funding. This will replace the existing National Council for Teacher Education and All India Council for Technical Education and the University Grants Commission. National Accreditation Council for accreditation. So these are some of the changes which are going to be brought, and other PSSBs or professional standard setting bodies will include professional councils such as Veterinary Council of India, Council of Architecture, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, and National Council for Vocational Education and Training. The National Testing Agency will now be given the additional responsibility of conducting entrance examinations for admissions to universities across the country in addition to the JEE Main and NEET. Higher education institutes like the IITs to make changes with regard to the diversity of learning. Foreign universities can now set up campuses in India. The fees of both private and public universities will be fixed. Also, academic bank of credits to be established to facilitate transfer of credits. Then multidisciplinary education and research universities to be called as MERUs in short, at par with IITs and IIMs, to be set up as models of best multidisciplinary education of global standards in the country. The National Research Foundation will be created as an apex body for fostering a strong research culture and building research capacity across higher education. Affiliation of colleges is to be phased out in 15 years and a stage-wise mechanism to be established for granting graded autonomy to colleges. Over a period of time, every college is expected to develop into either an autonomous degree granting college or a constituent college of a university. So these were some of the changes with respect to higher education, but there are some more changes. in brought about by the National Education Policy 2020, which include an autonomous body, the National Educational Technology Forum will be created to provide a platform for free exchange of ideas on the use of technology to enhance learning, assessment, planning, administration. It emphasizes setting up of gender inclusion fund, special education zones for disadvantaged regions and groups. Also, a National Institute for Pali, Persian and Prakrit, Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation to be set up. It also aims to increase the public investment in the education sector to reach 6% of GDP. Next, establishing an apex body for education headed by the Prime Minister under the name Rashtriya Shiksha Ayog or National Education Commission. The Ministry of Human Resources and Development to be renamed as the Ministry of Education, and also the policy aims to achieve 100% youth and adult literacy. The policy recommended the 3-language formula to be continued and flexibility in the implementation of the formula should be provided. The 3-language formula states that state government should adopt and implement the study of a modern Indian language, preferably one of the southern languages apart from Hindi and English in the Hindi speaking states, and of Hindi along with the regional languages and English as in the non-Hindi speaking states. So these are some of the changes suggested by the recommendations by National Education Policy 2020. These are the references for the preparation of this video. Please go through these references to have a better understanding of this policy. Thank you.